back to Hard Reads, guys. I am TKbreezy here with Austy, and we are here to talk about your favorite stuff, petty drama. What's really good? How you doing, Austy?
I'm good, man. I'm fantastic, man. What happened over the weekend, man? Like, what went wrong?
There's a lot that went wrong, and it wasn't even like, so there's a lot that went wrong, and like, I don't know, man. Like, it's really hard to explain because I feel like it's stuff that went wrong that technically wasn't that big of a deal, but it was like, oh, well, we're gonna make it a big deal, so here we are. But you know, as far as Dreamhack goes, you know, I had a good time there. I'm not sure if I'm going back, and I will tell you why as soon as I put this tweet out.
I'm very earnest to learn because I know you casted Brawlhalla while you were there. I think, right?
Oh, I mean, Brawlhalla is great.
Yeah. Truth be told,
okay.
I actually didn't watch Dreamhack at all this weekend. So okay. I literally just found the results from like looking on the Twitter feeds later on. But yeah. I'm gonna plan to watch the footage later on, obviously. But it didn't, for some reason, I just didn't have an interest in Dreamhack past weekend, and I'm not sure why.
Yeah. So this is the biggest thing about Dreamhack for me personally. Before we get into like all the other dumb stuff that happened,
sure.
For me personally, Dreamhack was probably like the worst working conditions I've ever had to work in, and that's crazy because of Dreamhack. But like, so you know, every time that me and Rod had to commentate, we always hit the last block, which is like, that was fine. I'm used to doing the last block, you know, close out with your strongest people, whatever, right? But because the schedule kept running behind, we kept having to commentate against a live fucking EDM concert.
Oh my God.
So like,
oh no.
So like, you could probably hear it in most of the matches, but it was booming in the background. And I was like, bro, there's no way. And so because you know how it's the EDM concert and shit, you know, you're going to hear the guy going off or whatever. It's like, whatever. It's crazy. But also the smoke machine is going crazy. So now I'm in the back commentating when I can barely hear. I can't breathe. Some of the matches were kind of boring. I was like, man, so like at the end of every night, I felt like I was in the fucking worst mood I've ever been in. But it was sad too, because like, it wasn't like the regular EDM, you know, Twitch party EDM, the sound of every streamer's break screen. It was like the good EDM, like the acceptable EDM that makes you want to dance. And so like now I'm stuck commentating like Sonic versus like Olimar, and I can't go out and dance. And by the time I'm done commentating, I don't want to dance anymore because I'm tight. It was something, man.
Bro, you're like commentating, but all you're thinking about is that you want to like just not. That's like the last thing you want to be doing right now because you just want to go be having fun. And it's such a huge distraction. I've casted a gig once where there was wrestling going on in the background, and it was like they had a giant crowd. Everyone was screaming, and it's just like it distracts you. Like, it's when it's louder than what you're hearing in your ear, it sucks. So I can definitely relate to that. I'm sorry that happened to you.
Yeah, I mean, you do the best that you can. So I mean, we made it work, but no other caster was casting at the time I think we were casting. I'm pretty sure all the other games ended at like a solid 6 p.m.
Did it go
Smash
over?
had to share stage, and Mewtwo King entered both games, and you know how that goes. So,
why is it always Mewtwo King? Why is it always him?
I mean, it wasn't 100% on him, but he definitely, you know, Mewtwo King entering both games will always be an issue because, you know, he always wants to hand warmer for 30 minutes as well as like him, you know, having to go back and forth. So, yeah, I mean, could it have been better? Sure. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, like, I'm not going to sit here and complain all day. I think that we kind of got shafted on our like blocks. My Brawlhalla blocks were great. And I'm glad that those are great. I had to do one with Flambeau, and neither one of us are like super big into Brawlhalla, but I realized that like I actually know a shit ton about that game, so I can somewhat carry, but I'd rather like stay with one of the like main Brawlhalla casters so they can talk about like the scene and stuff. That's what I like to do when it comes to commentating games I'm not like super big in. Like if I do Tekken, I want to do it like with Tasty Steve or Rip. If I do Melee, I want to do it like with DJ or Chillin', because you know they've been in the system or in the community for a while, so it's like anytime I have a question, we can now make a good back and forth because of the question.
Right. Like when it's not your main game, like that should be, you want to be with someone that is their main game because it's way more fun. I think it's more fun that way because then you're with someone who's very passionate about it.
Yeah.
Concerning Flambeau, like he's been in Brawlhalla for a while. Like he's talked to me how he like casts like online gigs from home and gets paid for it. So I was just like, man, that's the dream.
It's definitely the dream. That's what I got for the Tekken event. So that was lit. But yeah, man, basically we've just been we've been trying to like, I guess, make it, that's the real play for commentary now, is to like to be able to stay home and still make money. Like I like traveling, of course, right? Getting on the planes, getting all those points. I'm about to hit Diamond this year for the first time. That's great. Yeah, bro. Yeah,
Ooh,
you know what happened? I wanted to get close to Diamond, and then I picked up like 4 different gigs right in December, and I was looking and I was doing the math, and I was like, that's Diamond, baby. But yeah,
what does that get you? Like first class, like every flight, or what?
Pretty much. Like I'm already in the area where I get Comfort Plus. Like I buy a regular seat and just upgrade it to Comfort Plus for free. But now I'm like at the top of the first class, update stuff. So basically, if anyone didn't buy a first class seat, I'm taking it. So I'm hyped,
bro. Up there drinking champagne, like
yeah, bro.
With all those old,
they were trying to get you fucking lit in first class too. Cause I got a couple first class updates on Platinum. And that lady comes through. They'll come through before the flight even takes off. And like, if you finish that drink, they'll get you another one. I'm like, can y'all calm down? Like, it's a 5-hour flight. I have time, to really get some drinks here.
When you're on a plane, that's gonna mess you up like hardcore when you're that high in the air. Yeah. I've only been first class once, and when I did, they offered me wine like before it took off, like you. But I didn't know it was. I didn't realize that I was in first class because it was like an hour-long flight. And I was like, oh, no, it's okay. And they looked at me weird. Like, are you sure you don't want it? So I goofed. So next time I know.
Yes, it's pretty cool, too. Like, there's one time I actually shared, before we get back on topic, there's one time I was at a place with Tori, and I got upgraded to first class, but I didn't want to because I was trying to sit with Tori. So I just went back there to sit with her, and then a girl came back, and she was like, oh. I was like, yeah, if you want a better seat, I'll give you my first class seat. And she was like, what? She's like, you don't have to tell me twice or something. So she popped off and get the first class. And then like when we got off the plane, she waited for us and gave us a hug. And I was like, man, that must have been a really good first class experience. Like, goddamn. But anyway, so yeah, overall the Dreamhack, as a tournament, it was great. Like if you like a bunch of games, I watched a decent amount of high res stuff. I watched some of the TFT stuff. I actually just watched some League stuff too. But as far as the fighting game side of things, yeah, they definitely need to work on, I guess, the schedule. And maybe we need to start a little earlier so that way we're not going against a big concert. But yeah, that was an issue. Speaking of issues, more things that came out of Dreamhack. 2 separate beefs. So you got the long-standing Sam Soren and Esam beef, which I thought was just fake, but it's kind of real. And then the Tweak versus Wrath's girlfriend beef is more of what was going on. Now I read his tweet longer. He said that they were talking about emotional coaching. They said that some people were yelling things out. And I mean, like, honestly, dude, like there is definitely a fine line between what's coaching and what's just, standard cheering. You know what I'm saying? Like, me saying you got this, or, me saying like, calm down. To me, I think that's whatever, right? But like me saying like, oh, he's going to roll from the ledge. He's always rolling from the ledge, like that's definitely coaching, especially if
he's gonna jump. That's
if you catch someone else's like habit, like if I jump from the ledge all the time and you actually say he's gonna jump, like I don't care what you're saying. I don't care how you try to downplay that. That was you watching me intently, realizing what option I'm picking the most, and now saying what is the most probable option that I'd pick. That makes sense to me. But saying stuff like, yo, let's go, like, yo, you got this, yo, keep it, patience, little stuff like that. Like that's not really coaching. That's regular ass, jeering and cheers that you'll probably hear from any esport. To me.
Do you think Tweak used it as an excuse for his loss, or did you think he actually like had a huge problem with it?
I think it's a little bit of both. I definitely think that Tweak is not really good at the switching at the bottom is killing me. I think Tweak, I don't think Tweak is as good as like just accepting a loss. And you can tell in his gameplay too, because like when he's slapping, god damn it, when he's slapping, like Tweak, all the confidence is in his gameplay. But like it's the same thing when you see him go to game 4 with Leo, and then Leo destroys him in game 4 because he lost like a very tight game 3. Like he was this close to 3-0ing Leo, and now because he lost one, he's like, I can't do it, and then he gets bopped. But yeah, I think it's a little bit of both. I think sometimes Tweak just needs to sit back and realize, like, look, dude, man, like sometimes I'm just not on my A game. That doesn't make me less of a good player. But it just means I wasn't on my A game today. So that's one of the things that I learned from Tekken is that they always say like it's not about who's the best, it's about who's the best this day. Because there's a lot of competition for who is the best Tekken player, like of all time. But as far as who is the best Tekken player currently, like it's always a toss up. You know, you have Arslan slapping all the time. He goes to Evo, but then he says like that Pakistan actually has better players than him. And then you have Knee all over the place who's just slapping all the tournaments. But then, you know, he's also succumbed to a couple of losses as well. So it really is about being the best that day.
No, I totally agree with that. Mentality is such an important thing in competition. But like, I don't want to like discredit Tweak from it. Like a lot of his complaints were valid, you know? Like, you know, there was like loud EDM in the background, not distracting him. There were nowhere to plug his headphones in. Even though I heard that you could plug your headphones in, I'm not sure.
There was a place to plug headphones in.
Okay, so that looked like a little bit invalid. But the thing that
I think he probably just didn't find it. But there was a place there, or maybe he got the like one rare setup that didn't have it. But there was those little mixer things you can definitely plug into.
Oh, dope. Yeah, like the problem that I had with the twit longer, him just tweeting that out. Like I get it, he just wanted to. He had frustration. He wanted to vent. Like I understand. But he is a professionally paid player, literally the second best player in the world. And he has a monthly salary on top of, you know, being able to fly to tournaments, and he makes money off of that. And that's his job. It's his full-time job. And he made it in the twit longer. He didn't bother going to a TO at all. I guess, I don't know, maybe he just didn't feel comfortable doing that. But if you're actually a professional player and you don't exercise your right to like address a rule with the TO so that the burden's on the TO and not you, then I don't know what you're doing. So he said next time he's going to start addressing the TO. So I hope that does happen. But like people got to stop being afraid to approach a TO if there's something wrong with the match, in my opinion. So that's my 2 cents on it.
I mean, I'm with that. Like I don't really. You know, I don't really see why you wouldn't approach the TO. Like they're pretty much your first stop for any issues that you have going on with the tournament. That's why they're called tournament organizers. But yeah, I don't know, man. Maybe he just wasn't feeling it by the time it happened. But like, yeah, that in itself, I think that might have been a big deal. You know, him not being able to hear maybe the game, or him not being able to drown everybody else behind him. However, the emotional coaching, I'm not with that, because maybe B wouldn't have done this, and maybe that's just not her style. But I feel like it'd be the same thing as if, like, you know, he just popped off and like B was like, you know, let's go, babe. Like, you know, like, oh, he's, you know what I'm saying? Like, maybe that's not her style though. So like, maybe he's just not used to that. But I think that's unfair to tell someone's girlfriend to shut up because she's cheering. But like, he didn't say that. What I'm saying is like, that's like the language that we're using by talking about emotional coaching.
She was giving him a back rub.
Do not talk. Yeah, like do not talk and do not be supportive of your man while he's playing this game.
Yeah.
I don't really know how a back rub is powering him up to the point where he was going to win the set if he wasn't going to win it before.
How was he seeing it? Like, was he looking in between stocks in the middle of the game? Was he distracted by it? Like, that's what I was.
Sad. He was big sad. He looked over and he was like, man, where's my girl at?
Where's me? And I did feel bad for Tweak because like the FGC clowned the crap out of him after he made that twit longer. And then
as should. I think as should, as far as
that.
As far as that point, the emotional coaching point, I think that was probably the dumbest thing I've ever read. However, everything else that he said was valid.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like, and you know how people are on Twitter, they want to cash into those retweets and likes, so they repost the same stuff. Like kids these days in Smash would never last in the FGC or stuff like that. So it's like we never read that before, so had to cash those little likes in. So.
Yeah, at Smash United he said, I think bringing up the back rub is the reason why this thing turned into a farce. Took focus off his other gripes. His other gripes were 100% valid.
Yes.
That I cannot. There's not a time I've ever lost and I feel like I'd be upset about, like, why was your girlfriend here, bro?
It was like an offhand comment, I think, from Tweak. I don't think he didn't want anyone to focus on it. I think he just like typed. I can imagine him like at the keyboard just texting away or on his phone just typing away. And just ranting as far, not proofreading or anything, just ranting and send tweet, So he probably just added that in because it was a thought that entered his head, and then
I've definitely had issues like that happen to me though. Like not with like the emotional coaching, but like with the people being too close and like distracting me from the game. Like I remember back when in the Smash 4 days, I had to play against Tremendo Dude, and both of the games were dumb close, and I was actually in the lead, but then like the rest of Florida showed up, and and I had no MDVA behind me, so like anytime he hit me, even if it was like a get up attack, oh let's go, and like so it
that's
started
intimidating, me. Dog. Like that can actually be intimidating.
Yeah, bro. So I get that point. Like I get that point, but no one was like touching me, no one was touching him.
Yeah.
You know, if he had a girlfriend, she wasn't there giving him a back rub. Like I didn't blame my loss on anybody but the fact that I wasn't able to tune that out.
Yeah. And that's part of the game sometimes, you know, just having the crowd, like you're on a stage, or even if you're not on stage, you're like in the tournament, you know?
Yeah. And I mean, I could hear the setup too. Like I don't like playing without sound. So if I can't hear the setup, that sucks. But I could hear the setup, so that was fine. But I could also hear them, and that was like, fuck, you know what I'm saying? Like, damn it, I need to get better at like playing with shit behind me. You know what I mean? Like, if you guys want to play with no sound, then we need to start hosting our tournaments on golf fields or something. I don't know. Like, just
start golf clapping in the background.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Just every time.
You're looking for an edge guard, and not a single commentator says a word until the spike lands, and it's like, oh, yeah, fantastic spike. That's up for the spike, and nice.
Oh man. Oh damn. So yeah, I forgot. Yeah, I had to play SU Reno as Falco. But yeah, I had some of my boys behind me, and they were cheering as well. But the thing is, though, I don't actually want people cheering for me either. So as much as you may think that like that distracts you, it distracts me too. Because like,
do you get nervous?
No, it's not even that. It's like you have to be cheering for the right shit. I hate when people cheer for every hit. Like if I spike someone, I want to hear ooze. But like if I do a standard ass like up throw up air after someone did like an F smash on my shield, I don't want to hear shit. Like I don't wanna, like you know what I mean. I don't want to hear shit. Like that's a basic ass punish.
You throw a projectile and nicks him for 2 damage. Oh, let's go.
Oh man, yeah. Just like if I get like cool stuff, like I get like a soccer ball spike from across the stage, yeah, man, pop off for that. But if I just if I get a regular ass dash attack with you beat on stage, I don't want to hear that. I don't know, man. I'm not gonna tell people not to cheer. It's just something that like I don't want people to think that like I power up off that. I don't. You know what I'm saying? So that's not a thing. You just hear Nairo mashing in the background. Nairo mash is too clean. I gotta ask him how he does it, man. He's too nice.
It's about like I don't know. They move the controller as well as mash at the same time. I don't know how to explain it. It's I can't do it. I cannot replicate that nonsense. It's they're crazy.
So I mean, as bottom line for that, like I don't know, man. Tweak's he's got to man up at this point in time. Like I feel like he's probably had to deal with a lot being a top player. We're in a different grind, but I know people just he
gets a lot of hate.
People always cheer against you because you're you're top 3 in the world. But the thing is, like all the great players have had to deal with that. MKLeo gets cheered against like constantly. Zero got cheered against constantly. Armada was getting cheered against constantly. Hbox is still getting cheered against constantly, even though he hasn't been winning as much. Like it's the sign of the times. People like to see the underdog story. And the only time I feel like if Nairo won more tournaments or Mango and Nairo won more tournaments, people would eventually start cheering against them too. But no, they're like one-offs. They're everyone's favorite because when they win a tournament, it's like a good day for both Smash communities, right? But if they were to win everything all the time, it'd be a different story. So
you need variety.
Yeah. Crowd pop off after perfect deep breathing. That's one thing I would love to hear though, is when I'm doing a deep breathing, I want to hear people behind me also. That shit would actually kill me, bro.
You get the slow one, so it's like coming real slow. So like the audience, there's just tension. Cut the tension with a knife, and you finally get it. Just giant pop off, man.
That would actually destroy me. So
lose focus.
Yeah, but let me read this before we get into the next part. So Emma Nearsey said, yeah, that's the thing I have with most crowds I see on stream, especially on secondary streams being streamed by other players. No sound setup, and player A hits player B, and you hear, fuck, keep it going, baby. Let's keep riding that shit. I like what Flup was saying, Salem. And literally every 3 seconds, someone in the crowd was like, let's go, Flup. I get cheering for your boy, but people shout and get stoked on every little thing. Yeah, bro, that's actually mad true. Even locally, people around here complain about being PR because they get cheered against at 50-man weeklies. Yeah, it's rough. It's rough when you're expected to win, basically, the Smash community. People always want the upset and the underdog. So moving on though, we have to talk about 2 top players who are now currently, beefing. They actually blocked each other. Well, actually, I think Isam blocked Samsora, but I think the thing is there's a lot of history behind this, and this really starts to me with the summit. So ESAM, for whatever reason, you guys got to stop posting whatever you're posting. You're getting slapped up. ESAM, for whatever reason, is more upset that Samsora is being like rude to him on Twitter. When I feel like it's interesting to me that he would be upset by that when he was rude to him in real life at Summit on stream with a bunch of people watching. Like the logic doesn't sit there for me, because I'm like, you literally got on a live stream and called the man a bitch, and you think that call holds less weight than him making fun of you on Twitter. Now, granted, I'm not saying Samsora's in the right. I think that, like, the petty jabs are getting a little old too. I'll give him that. I'll give ESAM that. The petty jabs are getting a little old. But like, that's ESAM's persona. ESAM has always been like, he's this or that. Like, if he's fucking you up or he thinks he's gonna fuck you up, he's gonna say that. But if you fuck him up, and he'll say that. Like, he never really downplays his losses, like in a way where he's like, I didn't get bodied. Like, oh, that was, I didn't get bodied. I was playing bad or whatever. And like, he may say he's playing bad, but he'll at least give his opponent the props. But I don't see how, Samsora taking jabs at him on Twitter is any worse than him taking jabs at him in real life. And then continuing to bring that shit up later when he was like, we were playing, like, he'd be playing friendlies with people. And then every time Samsora was like an earshot, he'd be like, yeah, man, because, I play friendlies with anybody, especially at Summit. And it's like, all right, dude, like, we get it, bro. Like, he didn't play friendlies with you because Mutace is his friend, and he didn't want you to get the practice before you got in the match. And you still should have won that match anyway, but you SD game 4 and gave Mutace a bonus game, which is why you end up losing the game 5 anyway. So, yeah,
I just can't believe that the beef started from fake beef. Like they are. I forget who claimed that, or someone stated that they wanted to create a rivalry just for attention, and then he went too far, so then he took it personally. So
yeah, but like, I feel like it's where it is interesting to me, because I feel like it's one of those things where ESAM definitely brought up where he was like always bringing up the fact that like, oh, Peach is mad good, blah 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 blah. But then he's also saying the same thing about Pikachu and how Pikachu's busted, and he feel like the character's top 3 or top 5 or whatever the fuck. And then, so when Samsora claps back with, you can't even win with your top 5 character, after ESAM has already said all this stuff about Peach, that is like an appropriate and perfect level clap back. Like, yes. You're always talking about how good your character is and how good my character is, but I'm winning with my character and you're not winning with your character. So either your character is not as good as you say it is, or you're not as good as you think you are. And I was like, well, I mean,
where's the lie? Like, it's tough because you know how it is, man. People want to raise their brand awareness. It's good to get the attention because people are talking about you. It's like, look at Salem, for instance. No, if Salem didn't start that beef with Melee, he would not even be talked about that much. Like, he would not very rarely, but because he did, he has attention on him sometimes, even though he's not like winning tournaments. And I think ESAM, not saying because ESAM has won a tournament and he has been doing good in the past, lately not as much, but like, he still gets more attention on him because he does that. But you gotta take the punches, man. Like, you can't bitch about someone tweeting at you, stuff like that. Like, you take it in stride. That's how you could like try to, not trying to say like take the moral high ground. Like, it's good to see fighting and seeing rivalries in Smash, but the way this one is coming out, like, it's not that fun to see. Like, I don't know.
Smash. Like, literally, settle it and Smash.
Just do another 1st to 10. Fucking God.
Oh, man. It's
coming up. Like, do it then,
it might have been. I mean, I can see that. Kala Meowtis says, was he extra sensitive because of his birthday? I mean, maybe. Like, I don't want to. I want to have a good birthday too, without people shitting on me. But I don't know, man. ESAM is like, he's got this attitude, not this attitude. He's got this aura or this demeanor that he carries himself with that I feel like it has made people like who don't know him easy to not like him because you think he's just cocky. But like, I've known him for years and he's actually one of my boys. You know what I'm saying? Like, Samsora is my son for sure, but I've known ESAM for longer and that's one of my boys. So I don't really have like bias in this. I'm just seeing it from like what I think is unwarranted. So, did I think him calling Samsora a bitch was unwarranted? Yeah, but you did it, and I was like, it's whatever. But I think him also crying about like whatever's going on now between him and Samsora is also unwarranted after, fueling the fire. Like, you can't You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't light the match and then be like, wow, dude, my house is on fire. Like, that's it doesn't work like that, you know?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Man, the only way this could end well is, again, the money match happening, or them like fighting each other, like, or in Smash, obviously. Not in real life. Oh my God.
Yeah, I don't want to see that.
Yeah, no, I don't think anyone does. But yeah, I'd like to see more rivalries in general, though. So this is, even though it's not exactly, it feels weird because it started off fake. I think that's what makes this whole situation weird. It started off fake, and now it became real out of nowhere. And
yeah, it's probably my fault too, man. We were talking mad shit on commentary. Rip.
Oh, really?
Man, remember the ESAM vs. Sam Sora money match?
You mean the money? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, good times. Good times.
I'll never forget that ending, dude. I'll never forget the ending to that freaking set.
Speaking of, man, let me tell y'all, this how great my son is. Okay, he gave me $80 for commentating the set.
That. You were so dumbstruck when he gave it to you. You were just like, "What? Okay."
I was like,
Cody was
the
mad.
Payoff, bro.
Cody was mad, dude. He was like, "Wait, I hyped you up." Like, he didn't get any money at all.
I think another money match between them would be funny. I feel like they should do a doubles money match, and it should be Mute. Well, I guess they can't do it anymore because Mute Ace and MVD are on the same team. But it would have ASAM and MVD versus Mute Ace and Sam Sora. That would have been funny. But it is what it is, man. No one even cares about doubles anyway. You guys act like y'all do until y'all don't. Sad boys.
And when you don't have tournaments focused on doubles, it's kind of hard to care, unfortunately.
I won my first tournament as doubles here. So
yeah.
We me and Sam, we slapped some people up. I won my first ultimate tournament. I've won doubles tournaments before, but yeah, I won my first doubles tournament here 2 weeks ago. So it's only like 8 teams, but so we did round robin, but we beat every team. Team, so that's all that matters.
Doubles is lit. It just, no one cares about it, so it doesn't get the meta doesn't progress. You know,
I think right now the issue with doubles, there is no issue with doubles. I think the issue is that Smash 4 left a really, really bad taste in everyone's mouth for doubles, and now everyone's just like, forget doubles. But I love doubles. You know what I'm saying? I would try to do a doubles only tournament, but you know, it is what it is. Doubles is what's holding us back from esports, man.
Bro, we should be doing 4v4. What do you mean? Like,
I'm saying, bro, people want to see league Smash. That's what people really want to see. So,
can you imagine like a tournament with 4v4 items on, like, big ass stage? Like, people would watch that. I think. I don't think it'd be very. I'd watch it. I probably wouldn't want to watch it for long. Like, I wouldn't want to watch it a year from now. But if there was
I don't like people saying squad strike over doubles because I don't really like squad strike. I think squad strike is boring as fuck because I don't like. One, it's just another version of singles. And two, I really like seeing people adjust with their regular character. So like if I get blown up stock 1 and then I still win the game off of like stock 3, I think that's like way cooler than watching, all right, well, my Roy got blown up. Time to use my Joker. You know, like I want to see your Roy come back and really make some shit happen. But it is what it is.
I used to be on that bandwagon until Pound, because I commentated Squad Strike in pools at Pound, and it was the most boring thing ever. And then Top 8 happened, and it started off kind of like whatever, but then it got to like winners finals, and I don't remember who it was. It was Mars against ESAM, maybe? I'm not sure. No, it wasn't ESAM. It was Mars versus someone, and it was really fun to watch because you could tell that Mars was good with all the characters that he used. And it was also 5 characters instead of 3.
Wow.
So yeah, so you saw Mars busting out ice climbers, and he was actually doing wild shit with the character. And it was a lot of fun because you're just constantly talking about this character and that character. And when they're really good with all 5 characters, it's actually insanely entertaining. The only problem is not that many people are good with that many characters. So it's only until like the high levels, you know, like in the finals, top 4 or something. So before top 4, I think Squad Strike is the most boring thing to watch because of that.
I can see that.
But once you have a player that's really, you know, versatile and is good with a lot of characters, it's actually pretty fun.
Man, if they ever just put in Smash Run again, I would run a bracket for that.
Bro, I was waiting for the 100-player Smash Run, you know, the Battle Royale. You just have this giant ass map, 100 players dive in, and they go ham.
Unfortunately, Nintendo's internet cannot hold that down. So
Hell no.
You know, if they ever get a server, maybe, but no, we're not doing that. We're just not having that happen. So unfortunate for us, but you know, maybe next time.
They did it with Tetris, man. They could do it with Smash.
Why do they keep telling me Disney Plus keeps trying to get me to activate it, but I've already done this. All right, whatever.
You got Disney Plus, man?
Yeah, bro, I had to. I mean, it's free. I got Verizon.
What?
Yeah, bro, it's free for a year. You ain't know that?
If you have the internet or the phone plan?
Phone. If you have unlimited, at least on your phone.
I'm about to look this up free. Like I'll say, I know it's gonna be free.
We watched the first episode of Mandalorian last night, me and Tori. Actually, I probably have to get her to come back over so we can watch the second episode because I'm not trying to be behind. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, yeah, man. So that's it for Twitter versus IRL relationships, dude. Just I mean, like whatever you do in person is definitely worse than what you do online. But don't be a shitter online and then not back it up in person. I'm not really about. That's the one thing I'm definitely not about is when people are like talking mad shit online and they never say nothing to you in person. Like if you don't like me, this is the thing. If you don't like people, the best thing to do is to just put it out there that you guys do not vibe, and then that's it. Go your separate ways. There's certain people in this community that I will never talk to again because I don't need to, because we don't vibe. I don't fuck with you. You don't fuck with me. We've established that. Let's just stay away from each other. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't really know why that's so hard and why people have to take jabs at people that they don't care about, they don't like. That's too much mental energy to pay attention to someone who I already don't want to be around, who I don't want to talk to, who I don't really care, for. So
maybe it's just because you share a common interest, you both love Smash, so like maybe
there's enough Smash people that I still don't talk to, man.
Same.
I mean, I keep my follower count under 1,000 for a reason. I'm actually trying to get back to 700, but I don't know who else to unfollow.
Bro, I'm trying to get down to 50. I'm saying.
Okay.
No, I don't keep track of my following count at all. I don't even know how many people I follow.
All right, bro. Well, that's gonna be it for Hard Reads, guys. Thank you guys for watching. If you came in and watched, hung out with us for a little bit. If you did not, or you came in a little too late, we put this on YouTube probably within the next few hours. And on top of that, it ends up being on our Apple Podcast. So if you would like to support Hard Reads in a major way, most definitely check out or at least download the Apple Podcast. Give it a listen when you're about to go to sleep or something, or if you're just hanging out and you're like, yeah, I got time to listen to Smash. That's a good time to listen to Hard Reads. We talk about the hard hitting stuff. We talk about what's coming up next, and we just enjoy doing this. I don't really think there's a tournament this weekend, is there?
I don't know of one. There's probably some like. No. There's it's not big, but like there's a Smash Ball happening this weekend at New York City, which they're inviting like Tweaks invited. It's a $50 entry, and it's a high stakes tournament, and like the theme is that you dress up nicely.
Oh, like the Players Ball from last year.
The Players Ball, yeah, that's right. It's Smash Ball. The Players Ball too, yeah, essentially. So that's happening this weekend. Mm-hmm.
All right, that's cool. Well, I might check that out. You guys check that out too. Is Max doing that? Is he running that thing again?
Yeah, Max is running it.
Okay, so it's the New York, New Jersey thing. East Coast boys, definitely check that out if you want. It was actually pretty cool to watch last time. It was also pretty cool to watch Smashers realize they have no style. Man, I was roasting everyone but three people. There's like two people that came in with suits. Some people was wearing like mismatched stuff, too big of suits. It was a good time. But what's more important is
suit. That's the point.
Yeah, too big of a suit though.
Gotcha. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like my mom tried to buy this suit for me for church so I could wear it for the next 5 years type suit. Like, one of those suits. Like, oh man, it was gross. Anyway, someone's gonna try to steal my Camaro style, most likely. We'll get up with you guys next time. We'll have even more topics, depending on what happens next week. But also, we will probably talk about Congo Saga since that's coming up very soon. So, yeah. You got any last words?
Speaking of Congo Saga, they got sponsored by Nintendo today.
Big shout out.
That. Yeah, so that's cool. Seeing Nintendo still do the sponsor. I'm not sure what they're doing. I think they're just supplying setups and stuff, but still, like, just having that endorsement is always a good thing. So it's gonna be a cool tournament. Man, definitely. It's pretty much like the last hurrah for Smash as far as this year goes. So yeah, man. Definitely show up. If you guys are in SoCal, show up. And if you're not in SoCal, definitely give it a watch. Support 2GG, man. They've been holding it down for a while. So big ups to 2GG and big ups to y'all for watching. No, was that your final words? Yeah, I think so.
All right. Well, my final words is don't. Stop with the Twitter beef. It's getting old. All right. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's just work on being a good community. So people will stop fucking laughing at us all the time. And so I don't leave, because eventually I'm gonna get too old and too tired of this and be like, you know what, I'm gonna get a regular job. Grow up is basically what I'm saying. I fucking y'all heavy. I'll see you next time right here at Hard Reads. Good night.